Can everybody else hear me okay? सोनम, अंशु, नाव्या, आंचल, आप लोग हमको सुन पा रहे हो ठीक से?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
तो फिर आलोक जी, आपके साइड में नेटवर्क का कोई दिक्कत है आज? ओके, चलिए तो विल गेट गोइंग विद द क्लास। तो देखिए, जस्ट जस्ट डू अ क्विक रिकैप है, हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, कैसे कर रहे हैं। तो हर एक शनिवार को वी शेयर 2 वर्ड्स एंड देन वो दो दो वर्ड पे आप लोग सेंटेंस सुनाते हो, ठीक है? कि आप लोग हर कोई डेली दो वर्ड सीखता है, उसमें से कोई 2 वर्ड आप लोग शेयर करते हो ग्रुप में, उसमें सेंटेंस सुनाते हो। दैट इज व्हाट वी डू ऑन सैटरडेज। संडे इज व्हेन वी डू समथिंग डिफरेंट। तो अभी हम लोग टेंस की पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं या टेंस का प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं। पढ़ाई तो हम लोग करते हैं, हम लोग तो प्रैक्टिस करते हैं, right? तो वी स्टार्टेड विथ प्रेजेंट टेंस, जहाँ पे हमने सिंपल प्रेजेंट, प्रेजेंट कंटिन्यूअस, प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट कंटिन्यूअस के बारे में एग्जांपल्स देखा और सीखा पिछले क्लासेस में। जो लोग क्लासेस नहीं कर पाए थे वो लोग चाहे तो पहले का वीडियो देख लेंगे, तो आपको उससे भी जानकारी मिल जाएगा और प्रैक्टिस भी कर पाएंगे। देन वी स्टार्टेड विद पास्ट टेंस। तो अभी तक हमने पास्ट सिंपल पास्ट और पास्ट कंटिन्यूअस के एग्जांपल्स देखे थे कि इसमें क्या क्या सेंटेंस बनता है, कैसे बना सकते हैं। हर सब किसी ने अपना एग्जांपल दिया था विद डिफरेंट फ्लेवर्स। आज की क्लास में हम लोग पास्ट परफेक्ट और पास्ट परफेक्ट कंटिन्यूअस के सेंटेंसेस का उदाहरण देंगे, ठीक है? और ये क्लास जो है इट्स मोर लाइक अ रिपीट टेलीकास्ट। मतलब हमने पहले भी किया था हम लोगों ने ऑन डिमांड बाय ऑल द किड्स, वी आर रिपीटिंग द सेम थिंग अगेन। सो इस क्लास में कुछ बच्चे ऐसे हैं जिन्होंने पहले किया है और उनका जानकारी था काफी अच्छा इसको लेकर के। तो that's why I'm not teaching anybody. I'm just letting everybody go ahead and raise their hand and share few examples. आप अगर क्लियर नहीं हो इसको लेकर के कि पास्ट परफेक्ट का क्या एग्जांपल होगा, पास्ट परफेक्ट कंटिन्यूअस का क्या होगा एग्जांपल, maybe you can wait for a couple of minutes and see what other kids are saying, and then you can probably relate and share your sentences also, ठीक है? This is it is going to be more of a practice driven thing। और जहाँ पे भी आप लोग फंसेंगे, कुछ अगर लगेगा कि मान लिया किसी ने सेंटेंस बोला, कोई भी जल्दी में सेंटेंस नहीं सुनाएंगे, 4-4 5-5 सेंटेंस ही सुनाना है, ठीक है? तो थोड़ा स्लोली सुनाएंगे, बीच में कुछ करेक्शन का जुगाड़ रहेगा तो दैट इज व्हेन आई विल करेक्ट और समबडी एल्स इन द ग्रुप विल करेक्ट। तो चलिए, अभी जो लोग रेडी हैं हाथ खड़ा करेंगे और शेयर करेंगे अपने 2-2 3-3 सेंटेंसेस विद पास्ट परफेक्ट एंड पास्ट परफेक्ट कंटीन्यूअस, ठीक है? तो जो भी रेडी है हाथ खड़ा कीजिए एंड दैट इज हाउ द जर्नी विल बिगिन। ओके, चलिए सुमंत। सुमंत आप
Good
सुना
morning,
चाहिए?
sir.
हाँ प्रियंका, गुड इवनिंग बेटा।
Today my example of present perfect continuous and present perfect.
हम्म,
First
बोल।
topic is present perfect, past perfect.
पास्ट परफेक्ट, हाँ।
The patient had died before the doctor came.
पेशेंट नॉट पेटेंट।
Mhm.
हम्म,
When I reached the when I reached there, the function had started.
हम्म,
I reached home after the sunset. The sun had set.
हम्म,
My parents had left before I reached home. I had already written him a letter.
हम्म,
I had seen the Taj Mahal many times.
हम्म,
Second, second example is past perfect continuous.
हम्म,
I had been doing this work for 20 years.
हम्म,
I had been drawing pictures since morning.
हम्म,
Had they been doing farming since 1980.
हम्म,
My father had been teaching since 1990.
हम्म,
The laborers had been building this apartment 2 years.
हम्म,
I had been playing the team since last year.
हम्म।
That's all, sir.
बहुत बढ़िया। सुमंत भी बोलना चाहेंगे या सुमंत विल से
Sir,
लेटर?
कुछ देर बाद।
कुछ देर के बाद, ओके। ओके, सो देखिए, I'm sure everybody is ready. A lot of kids will share a lot of examples. Only takeaway for all of us is कि अगर पास्ट परफेक्ट की बात करें तो वहां पे हम हैड यूज करेंगे, और पास्ट परफेक्ट कंटिन्यूअस की बात कर रहे हैं तो हैड बीन यूज करेंगे. ठीक है, दैट इज व्हाट यू वुड हैव सीन व्हाट व्हेन प्रियंका वाज sharing it. So my request to everybody, pay attention to what others are saying, and you will observe a lot of things that could be of use for you. Okay, chaliye, let's go to Achal.
Good morning, sir.
Good evening, beta.
Today my sentences are on past perfect and perfect continuous.
Hmm.
Past perfect tense. The patient had died before the doctor came.
Patient had died.
The,
Died. Hmm.
okay, sir. The thief had fled away before the police came.
Hmm.
He had gone before I came.
Hmm.
When we reached there, the feast had started. Thank
Correct.
no, sir.
Hmm.
And my second past perfect continuous.
Hmm.
He had been running since morning.
Hmm.
You had not been playing since morning.
Hmm.
What had she been writing since morning? Thank you, sir. That's all.
बहुत बढ़िया. तो आजकल देखिए, आपको सेंटेंसेस में कोई दिक्कत नहीं था. व्हाट आई वुड आस्क यू टू इम्प्रोवाइज इज, जो आपने लास्ट में कहा, थैंक यू सो, दैट्स ऑल. नहीं, वो दैट्स अ माइंडसेट कि मेरा हो गया, मेरा हो नहीं गया. आप चाहे तो और आधा घंटा एंजॉय कर सकते हैं इंग्लिश को. सो दे नेवर एवर सी, ये प्रॉब्लम होता है, ये मेरा प्रॉब्लम भी था, इसलिए हम शेयर कर रहे हैं कि हम लोग जब इंग्लिश बोल रहे होते हैं ना, तो आपको लगता है जल्दी से बोल के खत्म करते हैं. खत्म मत कीजिएगा, ठीक है. कीप ऑन एंजॉयिंग इट. वेट फॉर अदर्स टू आस्क, सी इफ एनीबडी हैज एनी मोर क्वेश्चन फॉर यू. ठीक है, तो दैट वुड बी आवर अप्रोच. बट आजकल आपका सेंटेंसेस में कहीं पे कोई गलती नहीं था, इट वाज ऑल परफेक्ट. ओनली थिंग दैट आई मेंशन वाज few pronunciation corrections. जब pronounce करें, the patient had already died, तो वहां पे died में जो है ना, एकदम थोड़ा रुक करके थोड़ा जोर डालिए, ताकि उसका मीनिंग नहीं मिस हो या उसका फीलिंग मिस नहीं हो, है ना. ओके, बहुत बढ़िया बेटा. दीपक और नंदिनी भी कुछ बोलना चाहेंगे या?
No, sir.
Okay, ठीक है, तो लेट्स गो टू नव्या.
Good morning, sir.
गुड इवनिंग बेटा.
Sir, first sentences are uh, perfect tense. The
Hmm.
sentences we had played video games.
Hmm.
He had beaten chess easily.
Hmm.
Harry had become a successful marker.
Hmm.
She had drawn a good painting.
Hmm.
John had found a new job.
Hmm.
My dad had gone to California.
Hmm.
I had told all the information.
Hmm.
I had driven a car yesterday.
I had driven a car. Driven.
Driven. Okay.
Hmm.
She had watched a horror movie.
Hmm.
They had won a cricket match.
Hmm.
I had run a mile when I was younger.
Hmm.
We had spent all the money.
Hmm.
I had won the new t-shirt at the exhibition.
Exhibition. Hmm.
He had eaten all the snacks.
Hmm.
And second on past perfect continuous tense. So sentences are
Hmm.
I had been doing a job at a young age. She
Hmm.
had been loving our children since birth.
Hmm.
I had been listening a podcast for 3 weeks.
Hmm.
My my father had been living in California for months.
Hmm.
I had been reading books for 5 months.
Hmm.
Dad had been watching movies since morning.
Hmm.
She had been cooking food for 2 years.
Hmm.
I had been learning English for 2 years.
Hmm.
Temple had been opening morning for decades.
Hmm.
Improving your communication skills.
Hmm.
He had been laughing loud since little age.
Hmm.
She had been not eating medicine for 2 months.
Hmm.
Girls had been singing a song since 3 o'clock. That's all. Thank you, sir.
बहुत बढ़िया होता है। चलिए चलते हैं अंशु के पास।
Good morning, sir.
गुड इवनिंग बेटा।
Today my sentences with the past perfect tense and past perfect continuous tense.
Hmm.
My first sentence is with past perfect tense.
Hmm.
They had won a cricket match.
Hmm.
We had played video games.
Hmm.
She had drawn a good painting.
Hmm.
My dad had gone on Canada.
Yeah, gone to Canada. Hmm.
She had hurt me when I was a child.
Hmm.
We had spent all the money.
Hmm.
She had watched a horror movie.
Hmm.
We had bought new clothes.
Clothes. Hmm.
And my second sentence is with past perfect continuous tense.
Hmm.
He had been helping your parents for 5 years.
Hmm.
That's that's had been watching movies since morning.
Hmm.
They had been using an iPhone for 2 years.
Hmm.
I had been leashing up podcast for 3 weeks.
I had been listening the podcast for 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Hmm.
She had been she had been loving our children since birth.
Hmm.
My son had been studying hard during exam.
Hmm.
Carrie had been running a 10 kilogram for a young age.
Hmm.
That's all, sir.
Okay, बढ़िया. Let's go to Puspanjali Kumari. What do you Puspanjali?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, बेटा.
Today is my sentence is past continuous tense and perfect continuous tense.
Hmm.
My first word is past continuous tense.
Hmm.
He had slept before I came.
He had slept.
Slept before I came.
Hmm.
I had finished the work before father came.
Hmm.
The thief had run away before the police came.
Hmm.
And my second word is past perfect continuous tense.
अब बोलेंगे my example with past perfect continuous tense. Hmm.
Okay, sir.
Hmm.
They had been playing cricket for 10 days.
Hmm.
Sam had been reading since 2 days.
Hmm.
He had not been eating for 50 days.
Hmm.
Had I been playing?
Hmm.
How had you been this doing work?
Hmm.
That's all, sir.
बहुत बढ़िया होता है। चलिए चलते हैं रुद्रा के पास। रुद्रा बोली भाई।
Hello, sir.
हेलो बेटा।
My sentences on were past perfect tense.
Hmm.
The body had cried. The baby had cried before her father come.
Hmm.
Had the water boiled when you kitchen. Went to
Hmm.
kitchen. Had she come late to the school.
Hmm.
I had lived in London before I moved to Paris.
Hmm.
And my sentences on past perfect continuous tense.
Hmm.
Had you been waiting long before the taxi arrived?
Hmm.
We had been trying to open the door for 5 minutes.
Hmm.
It had been raining hard for several hours.
Hmm.
Her friend had been thinking of calling the police.
Hmm.
That's all, sir.
बहुत बढ़िया। तो आपके साथ में साजिद भी है?
No, sir. अभी नहीं है।
नहीं है, ओके। तो चलिए चलते हैं फिर रौनक के पास। एंड अगेन as I keep reminding you guys, I don't go in any sequence। ऐसा नहीं कि हम पहले हाथ खड़ा किए थे, हमको नंबर नहीं आया, हमको बोलने नहीं दिया गया, ऐसा नहीं है। I'm just picking up one name that appears on the screen और उसको बोलते हैं, ठीक है? तो don't think anything else, okay? आपका सबको मौका मिलेगा, हम सबको धक्का मार के याद दिलाएंगे भाई आपको बोलना है, ठीक है? चलिए, तो हम लोग जा रहे हैं रौनक के पास। रौनक बोलिए भाई।
Good morning, sir.
गुड इवनिंग बेटा।
Today is my two tense past perfect tense. My second tense is past perfect continuous tense.
हम्म।
My first tense is past perfect tense.
हम्म।
They, they had eaten food.
हम्म।
The the thief had run away before police came.
हम्म।
The patient had died before
डायट।
the died before the doctor came.
हम्म।
The had reached the school before the bell rang.
They had reached the school before the bell rang. Hmm.
Rang.
Hmm.
I had already completed my work.
I had already completed my work. Hmm.
He saw TV after you had gone.
Hmm.
My second tense is past perfect continuous tense.
Hmm.
I I had been playing since morning.
Hmm.
They had been fighting for 10 years.
Hmm.
I had been running.
Hmm.
It had been raining since morning.
Hmm.
They had been living for years.
Hmm.
He had been working since 1898. Thank you,
Hmm.
sir.
बहुत बढ़िया। चलिए तो चलते हैं आलोक मिश्रा के पास। देखिए आलोक अभी बोल पाते हैं कि नहीं, उनका नेटवर्क का क्या हाल है दिखा जाए थोड़ा। आलोक, आपको आवाज आ रही है?
Yes, sir, but it's quite breaking.
Hmm. Maybe you can
Not
start.
properly.
Let's see how much we are able to survive with whatever situation we have right now. Okay. Do you want to go ahead and share your sentences with past perfect and past perfect continuous?
Okay. Or I had
Hmm.
he had eaten his medicine.
Hmm.
For past perfect continuous are
Hmm.
uh,
Hmm.
since
Hmm.
morning.
Hmm.
Uh, he has been doing his
Hmm.
work
What do you like? You're going. Okay, very nice. So there was some
that's
break in
also.
between, but I could see that no, your sentences are coming out very clear. You framed it rightly, and your command over English is also looking perfectly fine. So good. We'll keep on practicing, and hopefully in the next class we'll not have the same problem with the network like what we had today. Okay. चलिए. Let's go to Sonam Kumari. अच्छा रौनक आप म्यूट पे चले जाइए आपको मौका दिया गया आपका नाम पुकारे थे आप नहीं जवाब दिए तो इसलिए आपको नहीं मौका मिला बट आई विल कम बैक टू यू अभी लेट सोनम कंप्लीट उसके बाद आपके पास आते हैं सोनम गुड इवनिंग बेटा
Good evening, sir. Today, my example of past perfect tense and past perfect continuous tense. We had called him. I had done my work. She had made him understand. He had made He had made me laugh. We had reached home before it rained. She had read her book before she slept.
थोड़ा सा रुक जाइए शी हैड रेड हर बुक्स देखिए रीड इसका स्पेलिंग भी आर ई ए डी होता है और रेड का स्पेलिंग भी आर ई ए डी ही होता है लेकिन जब हम यूज करते हैं हिसाब से उसका प्रोनाउंसिएशन चेंज होता है तो जैसे ये घटना हो चुका है पहले ना आप बोलेंगे शी हैड रेड हर बुक बिफोर स्लीपिंग बोलिए
Okay, sir.
बोलिए
She had gone before I came. You had slept by then. Past perfect continuous tense. You had been working since yesterday. Seema had been playing since morning. The child had been sleeping for 2 hours. I had been waiting for you since 2 o'clock. She had been learning her lesson since morning. They had been living in Delhi for 3 years. He had been yesterday for 2 hours. It had been raining since morning. That's all, sir.
बहुत बढ़िया जो चलते हैं रौनक के पास रौनक बोलिए भाई ओके रौनक नाराज हो गए मेरे से रौनक बोलिए भाई इफ यू कैन हियर मी ओके
सर
बोलिए
हम
रौनक
बोल दिए थे सर
बोल दिए थे आपका हाथ तो खड़ा किए थे हमको लगा कि कहीं कुछ और बोलना चाह रहे हैं शायद से एनीवेज ठीक है गुड चलिए लेट्स गो टू प्रिया कुमारी
Good morning, sir.
गुड इवनिंग बेटा
Today my sentences with past perfect tense and past perfect continuous tense.
Hmm.
My my sentences with past perfect tense.
Hmm.
We had eaten.
Hmm.
We had not eaten.
Hmm.
Had he eaten?
Hmm.
What had he eaten?
Hmm.
Um, my second sentence is with past perfect continuous tense. I had been walking.
Hmm.
He had been dancing.
Hmm.
I had been reading since morning.
Hmm.
You had not been reading since morning.
Hmm.
Had you been reading since morning?
Hmm.
When had you been reading since morning?
Hmm.
That's all, sir. Thank you.
बहुत बढ़िया। तो चलिए चलते हैं। अच्छा, नाविया ने हाथ खड़ा किया। आई थिंक नाविया के साथ में नैतिक है। इज दैट द केस?
Good evening, sir.
गुड इवनिंग बेटा।
Sir, today is my sentence on past perfect tense, sir, and
Hmm.
past perfect continuous tense.
Hmm.
In affirmative sentence, I had read this letter.
Hmm.
We had solved our question. And in
Hmm.
negative sentence, boys had not played cricket in the field. You
Hmm.
had not sung this song. And
Hmm.
in interrogative sentence, had teacher taught to the children to study? Had we
Hmm.
lived in the city?
Hmm.
And answer in WH word sentences.
Hmm.
That's sir. Why had you asked this question? Where had you solved this toy?
Hmm.
Answer in WH word plus negative sentences. That's
Hmm.
sir. Why had you not solved this question?
Hmm.
Why had this cow not grazed the grass yesterday?
Hmm.
Answer in past perfect continuous tense. Affirmative sentences are
Hmm.
he had been doing this work for 3 days.
Hmm.
Children had been made a noise in the class. Answer in negative sentences. We had not been living in this city since 2010.
Hmm.
Boys had not been playing cricket in the field.
Hmm.
Answer in interrogative sentences. Had I been cooking food since morning? Had they been flying kite on the roof?
Hmm.
Answer in interrogative plus negative sentences. That sir. Had teacher not been teaching to the children since Monday?
Hmm.
Had she not been walking on the road?
Hmm.
Answer in WH word plus negative sentences. That sir. How had farmer been ploughing his field for 3 days?
Hmm.
Why had we been catching fishes in the pond?
Hmm.
Answer in WH word plus negative sentences. That
Hmm.
sir. Why had he not been plucking flower in the garden since Monday?
Hmm.
Why had mother not been worshipping in this temple?
Hmm.
That's all, sir. Thank you.
बहुत बढ़िया। तो चलिए चलते हैं अमित कुमार के पास, यानी अंजलि कुमारी।
Hello, sir.
हेलो बेटा।
Today is my sentences from past perfect tense and past perfect continuous tense.
Hmm.
He had gone. He had sung. Risu had danced. He had slept before I came. The bell had rung before I reached to school.
Hmm.
The patient had died before doctor came.
Hmm.
When I reached to a school, then the bell had rung.
Hmm.
And in perfect continuous tense, I had been playing for 1 hour.
Hmm.
Had you been living in this city since 2005?
Hmm.
Had those been waiting for many years?
Hmm.
I had not been going to a school since 2006.
Hmm.
He had been nothing doing since yesterday, Monday.
Hmm.
You had been swimming since 10 o'clock.
Hmm.
Had Mohan been running since morning?
Hmm.
That's all, sir.
बहुत बढ़िया। तो चलिए, then let's go to कंचन कुमारी। कंचन बोलिए भाई।
Hello, sir.
लो बेटा।
मेरा फर्स्ट वर्ड है, मैं फर्स्ट सेंटेंस है पास्ट परफेक्ट टेंस। I had read.
I had read.
You had eaten. They had gone.
They had gone.
Raj had slept. Geeta had sung. Second sentences है past perfect continuous tense. I had been reading. You had been reading. Rita had been weeping. They had been working. I had been sleeping. Thank you for that, sir.
बहुत बढ़िया। तो चलिए चलते हैं सॉरी वीर और क्रिस के पास।
Yes, sir. Sir, today my sentences from past perfect tense are: she had learned the skill of reading by the time she was 3. I had visited almost all the place of interest in area by 2015. There was a road and past perfect continuous tense are: I had been visiting to the Singapore. I had been learning how to play the flute. Steven had been finishing his homework. That's all, sir.
बहुत बढ़िया। आपके साथ में वीर भी है? क्रिस, वीर भी है आपके साथ में?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, today
बोलिए
my
बेटा।
sentences from past perfect continuous tense are: Rohan had been learning for several weeks. They had been trying to settle in Australia. I had been writing for him since morning. The teen will be leaving in an hour. That's all, sir.
बहुत बढ़िया। But some of the sentences that you framed were more from a future tense also, right? So train will be leaving in few hours. So that will be part of future tense. I know. But yeah, sentences are all correct and good job. Let's go to Sumant. आप ready हो Sumant?
Good morning, sir.
Good evening बेटा।
Today my topic are past perfect tense and past perfect continuous tense. The sentences are past perfect tense. I had eaten bread. She eats Mohan had eaten bread. We had eaten bread. The patents had died before the doctor came.
The patient had died before the doctor came.
The train had left before he reached the station.
The train had left before he reached the station.
I had come home before the sun set. and the sentences are past perfect continuous.
Hmm.
That's it. I had been eating bread.
Hmm.
I had been eating for 20 minutes.
Hmm.
I had been running since Sunday.
Hmm.
I had been writing.
Hmm.
I had been teaching.
Hmm.
Mohan had been learning English for years.
Hmm.
That's also.
बहुत बढ़िया। तो चलते हैं रितिका के पास। रितिका बोलिए भाई। And now I'm checking who all has not spoken yet. तो रितिका
हेलो
बोलिए।
सर।
कौन है भाई इतना जोर से?
Good morning, sir.
गुड इवनिंग बेटा।
Today my sentences with past perfect tense and past perfect continuous tense. First sentences on past perfect tense. It had been raining. I had done my all homework. After she had moved out, they had not gone out when you called. By the time we came, she had finished the project. I went there after I had completed the task. She had come late to the school. I had learned how to solve all the problems. My dad had gone to Australia. We had played video games. And my second sentence is with past perfect continuous tense. She had been studying all days. I had been listening to music. We had been walking near a bridge.
Walking near a bridge.
We had been studying English grammar all days. They had been cleaning a house all days. I had been working hard all days. She had been cooking food for 2 years. He had been running. Had it been running? You had been running. And he had been laughing loud since little age. I had been reading books for 5 months. That's all, sir.
बहुत बढ़िया। तो चलते हैं अजित भगत। आप ही हल्ला कर रहे थे, बोलिए भाई।
Good morning, sir.
बोलिए। गुड इवनिंग।
Today is my topic. Today is my topic the tiger and the elephant.
अच्छा।
The tiger is a powerful animal. It is a danger animal.
Danger नहीं, dangerous animal.
It is a dangerous animal. That's all, sir.
बहुत बढ़िया।
अब सर अब elephant पे. The elephant is a fat animal. It has 4 footed. It has 2 small eyes and 1 small tail.
Tail मतलब पूछ।
It has 2 ears.
It has big trunk. It has two teeth.
Teeth. दांत.
It has one mouth. It has two horns. That's all, sir.
बहुत बढ़िया. चलिए
सर,
तो हाँ बोलिए.
सर मेरा भाई भी है.
भाई भी है. मेरा भी बहुत सारा भाई है. बोलिए भाई.
My name is Vivek Kumar Bhagat.
हाँ, वेरी नाइस. कौन से क्लास में विवेक आप?
Food is my topic.
The cow and the Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi is
तो चलिए ठीक है. हाँ बोलिए बोलिए. अरे सुनिए, ये जो है क्लास है, यहाँ पे हम लोग टेंस का बात कर रहे हैं. आप काव और महात्मा गांधी पे चले जाएंगे तो कैसे होगा? महात्मा गांधी को हम लोग याद करेंगे 2 अक्टूबर को, गांधी जयंती के दिन. क्या बोलते हैं? तो चलिए कोई नहीं, तैयारी करके आएंगे फिर हम लोग करेंगे. तो अभी अभी जो क्लास चल रहा है उसमें हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं पास्ट परफेक्ट और पास्ट परफेक्ट कंटिन्यूअस टेंस के बारे में. तो जो लोग तैयारी करके आए उनका सुनते हैं, जो लोग तैयारी करके नहीं आए वो भी दूसरों का सुनेंगे कि भाई लोग ये टेंस जो है उसको कैसे यूज करते हैं, उसका क्या इंपॉर्टेंस है. ठीक है. तो चलिए जो बच्चे तैयारी करके आए उसको बोल देते हैं. चलिए रुद्रा के साथ में हमको लगता है कि साजिद भी हैं, राइट?
हेलो सर.
हेलो बेटा. चलिए बोलिए भाई, शेयर कीजिए.
Sentences on past perfect tense and past perfect continuous tense. Then first past perfect tense. You had flown kite yesterday. We had done our work today. You had not sung this song. Boys had not played cricket in the field. Had I caught fishes in the pond? Had we lived in the city? How had you solved this twice? Had you not about this pen? And sentences on past perfect continuous tense. They had been she had been working on her novel for months. We had been waiting patiently for our turn on the ride. He had been training for the marathon for a year. She had been reading the book all afternoon. He had been studying for the exam. They had been saving money for a trip. Thank you, sir. That's all.
बहुत बढ़िया. तो चलिए अभी चलते हैं. कौन छूट रहे हैं? अजीत भगत आपने तो बोल दिया भाई, तो हाथ नीचे कर दीजिए. और देखते हैं यहाँ पे. रौनक ने बोल दिया, ऋतिका ने बोल दिया, रुद्रा ने बोल दिया. एक मिनट, लेट मी गो फ्रॉम द टॉप. रुद्रा आपने हाथ खड़ा किया है, बोलिए. Okay, I'm just checking if anybody is remaining. आंचल ने बोल दिया, अंशु ने बोल दिया, कंचन, वीर कृष्ण ने बोल दिया. प्रिया कुमारी को हमने याद नहीं आ रहा है. प्रिया ने बोला था, आई थिंक प्रिया हैज स्पोकन. यप. सुप्रिया. सुप्रिया आपने बोला क्या बेटा? I see somebody with name Supriya. Supriya, I think आपको हम नहीं सुना है, if I'm not wrong. Would you want to share something? Something as in sentences on past perfect and past perfect continuous. अगर आप तैयार हो तो सुनाइए, और नहीं हो तो अगली क्लास में तैयार होके आइए, है ना? So this essentially brings us to the end of the class. तो यहाँ पे देखेंगे तो अगर सुप्रिया ने फिर ज्वाइन किया, ठीक है। तो हाँ, बेसिकली व्हाट आई वाज सेइंग वाज कि देखिए अभी हम लोग जैसे शनिवार को 2-2 वर्ड शेयर करते हैं। आप लोग का 2-2 वर्ड सीखने का कार्यक्रम जारी रहना चाहिए, उसमें कोई कोताही नहीं होगा, क्योंकि वो 2 वर्ड जो आप डेली सीखेंगे उससे प्रैक्टिस करेंगे, सेंटेंस बनाएंगे, किसी को सुनाएंगे। दैट इज व्हाट विल बी योर बिगेस्ट अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर लर्निंग इंग्लिश विथ मिनिमम एफर्ट, ठीक है। तो वो आपको करते रहना है। तो उसमें से जो 14 वर्ड्स होता है उसमें से 2 वर्ड आप यहाँ सुनाते हैं शनिवार को। सो दैट इज मोर लाइक अ चेक पॉइंट कि हाँ आपने क्या सीखा और क्या सुनाया। और आप हर लोग जो पढ़ेगा सीखेगा, उसमें से हम लोग बाकी लोग सुन के हम लोग भी सीखेंगे, राइट। हम भी सीखते हैं आप लोग से। तो दैट इज व्हाट विल कंटिन्यू। संडे को हम लोग वी कीप ऑन डूइंग डिफरेंट थिंग्स, राइट। अभी हम लोग जैसे टेंस की पढ़ाई कर रहे थे, अभी हमने प्रेजेंट टेंस और पास्ट टेंस का पढ़ाई कर लिया। विल स्टार्ट विद द फ्यूचर टेंस फ्रॉम नेक्स्ट वीक। मतलब अगले रविवार को फ्यूचर टेंस का अगेन फर्स्ट 2 फ्लेवर्स, उसके फॉलोइंग वीक में फ्यूचर टेंस का जो फ्यूचर परफेक्ट कंटिन्यूअस ऐसे करेंगे, ठीक है। तो आई वुड वांट यू गाइस टू कम प्रिपेयर्ड एंड शेयर इट, you know, in a more much more easier way, जैसे बहुत लोग करते हैं। मतलब ध्यान ये रहे कि आपको पता नहीं चाहिए अगले क्लास में क्या होने वाला है, उसके लिए आपका तैयारी क्या है, आप क्या जानते हैं और क्या चीज नहीं जानते हैं। इट्स ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू नो कि व्हाट यू डोंट नो, आपको क्या चीज नहीं पता है। तो वो आके पूछेंगे सर ये वाला हम जानते हैं, ये हम पढ़े थे, ये और नहीं समझ में आ रहा है। तो दैट इज हाउ विल बी एबल टू मेक यूज ऑफ द क्लास, ठीक है। तो चलिए, अगर किसी कोई बचे हुए नहीं है शेयर करने के लिए, देन वी कैन रैप इट अप फॉर टुडे। और हम लोग मिलेंगे अगले शनिवार को सेम टाइम। ओके, सुप्रिया को कुछ दिक्कत हो रहा है। ओके, आई थिंक किरण कुमारी हैज ज्वाइंड। किरण, आपको शेयर करना चाहेंगे? हम लोग जो टेंस का पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं, पास्ट परफेक्ट और पास्ट परफेक्ट कंटिन्यूअस, अगर आप चाहें तो कुछ सेंटेंस शेयर कर सकते हैं इफ यू आर प्रिपेयर्ड। अगर नहीं प्रिपेयर्ड है आज के लिए तो कोई बात नहीं, अगले क्लास में तैयार करके आइएगा, ठीक है। Yeah. Okay. All right. चलिए तो फिर let's conclude the class here. We'll meet again next class, same time on Saturday at 6 p.m. है ना?